I'm Ethan, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to operate your Craftsman Industries 40-foot mobile medical coach and the various equipment and appliances inside and on it. The first and most important step in your setup process with your mobile medical coach is choosing your location. You want to choose the most level location possible. Before starting your setup process, check above the coach for overhead obstructions such as tree branches and power lines. Also check below the coach for obstructions of the leveling legs. If you have to park on a slight incline, place the rear passenger side corner on the uphill side so that the ADA lift can reach the ground. To level the motor coach, you will first need to lower the air suspension. The control switch is located to the left lower of the steering wheel. You will turn the switch to the left. Then you will move to the control panel for the leveling system. Press the auto level button and wait for the coach to stop moving. As the legs lower, an alarm will sound. For travel, the leveling system should indicate travel mode with a green indicator light. If the green light is not on, do not move the unit as it may cause damage to the hydraulic system. All auxiliary systems and equipment in the rear of the unit should be powered down anytime the unit is moving. Failure to do so could cause damage to the equipment, electrical systems, or the coach. After you've chosen your location, you will need to come to the second from the front belly box on the driver's side where your battery power switches are located. You will need to make sure that both of these red switches are in the on position. After you've ensured that your battery switches are in the on position, you will want to move back to your generator to make sure that it is in the auto start mode. To do this, we will open the belly box compartment and open the cover panel on the generator itself. On the display panel, it should say auto start enabled. Once you've ensured that's what it says, you will then close the cover panel on the generator and the belly box. This allows you to start the generator from the remote panel inside the coach. To start the generator from the remote panel inside the coach, first check that auto start is displayed on the screen. Then you will press the start button. If you plan to use shore power instead of generator power, you will first need to ensure that your location can supply 50 amps of power. Your shore power cable is located in the rear driver's side belly box. The shore power cable is on a powered retracting spool. There is also an access hole located below it that allows you to feed the cable through and shut the belly box door. When powering up the various appliances and equipment inside your motor coach, you will need to start at the breaker panel located on the rear wall of the coach. You will start by turning on the main breaker. Then begin turning on the breakers one at a time while listening to the generator. At some points, the generator may bog down. Before turning on the next breaker, wait until the generator has gotten back up to speed. Located near the rear driver's side is your plumbing belly box. In here, you will find your water tank fill, your black water drain, your water heater, and your tank heater. To fill your freshwater tank, you will connect to city water with a garden hose and then turn the valve to tank fill. When you finish filling your tank, you will turn the valve back to normal use and replace the cap on the garden hose fitting. Your freshwater drain is located in a belly box near the front passenger side of the coach. To drain the tank, you will simply turn the valve in line with the drain line. The water status panel is located near the rear wall of the coach. Here, you will find your battery voltage, your freshwater, gray water, and black water tank statuses, your water pump power switch, and the tank heater power switch. Never run the water pump if there is no water in the tank. The ADA lift is controlled by a mounted remote in the rear passenger side belly box. To begin, open the belly box and secure it with the latch. Remove the remote from the wall and turn the power switch on the control box. You will then hold the down button to bring the ADA lift out. Once it has fully extended, it will begin to lower. Stop at this point, set the remote down, and turn the power off on the control box. You will start by lifting the railings. First, remove the pins and set them aside. Lift the railing and reinsert the pins to lock the railing in the up position. The outer ramp on the ADA lift is spring-loaded. Once you have the ADA lift in its operating position, you will then pick the remote back up and turn the power back on the control box. Hold the down button to lower the lift all the way to the ground. Once the patient has been safely loaded onto the lift and the brakes have been applied to the wheelchair, you will then press the up button on the remote to raise the lift. As the lift gets up to the door, the inner ramp will automatically lower. Once the patient is safely off the lift, you will then hold the down button to lower the lift back towards its stow position. You will then need to lower the spring-loaded ramp and both safety handles. Always check that all 4 pins are back in place once the railings are lowered. Then, you will turn the power back on at the control box and using the remote, hold the stow button. The lift will center itself and then retract back into the coach. You will then hook the remote back onto the wall and turn the power off on the control box. If you are without power and need to operate the ADA lift, there is a manual option. You will first need to release the manual lock by twisting and pulling the T-handle out and twisting it back into the locked position. Then you will remove the crank handle off of the rear wall of the ADA lift belly box. Follow the instructions on the front of the control box to either raise or lower the lift. Located inside the ADA lift door is a pressure-sensitive safety mat. If this mat detects any weight or pressure, it will automatically disconnect power to the ADA lift. This is to ensure that nobody is standing inside the doorway while the door is open. This pressure-sensitive mat is hardwired into the floor. Avoid moving it at all costs. The ceiling vent fans are controlled by remote. Each vent has its own remote, but each remote can control each vent fan. Simply press the power button and the vent cover will automatically raise and the fan will turn on. On the remote, You can also control the fan speed, whether it is blowing air out or pulling air in, and set the desired temperature for the fan to turn on and off. The awning has a remote control mounted on the wall. To open and close the awning, simply press the related button on the remote. The center square button on the remote will stop the awning in its current position. Always check for hazards and obstructions before operating the awning. If wind speeds exceed 15 to 20 miles per hour, the awning will need to be closed to prevent damage. The awning does have internal automatic sensors to close itself if wind speeds get too high. The Motorcoach's HVAC system is split into 3 separate sections. Each section has its own thermostat. Press the power button on the thermostat to cycle through the different modes. Use the arrows on the right of the thermostat to set your desired temperature. Do not set the air conditioning below 68 degrees, as this can cause the system to freeze, which can cause damage. When powering down the HVAC system, make sure you turn off each thermostat 10 to 15 minutes before disconnecting power at the breaker panel. This allows the system to cycle down safely. Floor heaters are not connected to the HVAC system. They are individually controlled by the turn dial located on the face of the heater. Turn the dial to the right to increase the heat, turn the dial to the left to lower the heat, and turn the heater off. Slide outs are individually controlled by wall-mounted control panels near each slide out. Turn the key to the on position and hold the switch down to extend or retract the room. Always check that all cabinets and drawers are in their locked positions before travel. All breakers should be in the off position during travel. For further assistance or guidance, contact the Craftsman Industries service team.